Welcome one and all. Step right up and get your tickets for another moment in gaming history.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome officially to the channel. This is a series where I go into various different moments in video game history, and today I'm going to go into the realm of strategy games. Not the turn-based ones, but the real-time style that many of us got used to with Warcraft, Starcraft, or Command & Conquer. It's unlikely that these games just suddenly came to be. It's more likely that they slowly evolved from other previous games. So let's set down some criteria for what we're looking for and go back and find out what games possibly contributed to what we know as the modern day RTS. Now, before we get too deep, we should probably actually define more what we're looking for. So I'm going to set down a particular criteria, and well, if you disagree with me, you can tell me why I'm wrong in the comments. That's always okay on this channel. First off, and most obvious, everything must happen in real time, no turns. I understand that much of the genre got its start in turn-based combat, but that's simply not what I'm looking for today. Secondly, there must be some kind of resource gathering and management system. Again, I feel like this is pretty obvious, and I don't really expect too many red flags to come up from you guys here. Third, there must be a way to make additional buildings and units with a way to advance your technology. So far, this fits a few genres like SimCity-style games, along with RTS games, and technically, you could potentially classify SimCity as a type of RTS, as it has a lot of the structure, but I want to narrow this down just a tad more. So, in order to narrow this down a little bit more, I'm going to add some form of combat or negotiation system. What I mean by this is a way of making a military force to take out other civilizations or bases, or a way to negotiate with other civilizations to merge together as one nation, essentially diplomacy. Now, you can argue this isn't necessary, but to me, it makes the most sense in having some form of conflict and conflict resolution system in the game. Otherwise, it feels too much like a city building game and less like an actual strategy RTS game. Because to me, a strategy game isn't just advancing technologically, it's dealing with conflicts that arise from as one power sees another surging ahead of them or using their advancements against another society. It simply feels more historically accurate, at least to me, as civilizations rarely grow through only peaceful means. Again, if you disagree with me, feel free to explain why. I'm always happy to be wrong. So, with all that said, let's take a look at the first game on our list. Utopia. Yep, this is the first time a television is showing up on the channel. Those of you who know me know why, but this is one of the earliest games to have many of the characteristics we're looking for in this type of game, and as such is pretty much impossible to avoid. This is a two-player game where the player wins by having the most points at the end of a number of rounds. Yes, I said rounds, which means this isn't really fully what we're looking for, but let's go into the criteria. First off, everything doesn't happen in real time. This is more of a turn-based affair, so it fails on that mark. Second, it does have a resource system. It absolutely does. By growing crops, fishing, gold is used to construct new buildings. It can also be used to fund sending rebels to enemy islands or making PT boats to sabotage them, so that hits both criteria 2 and 3. At least, and a little bit of 4 as well. I say to a lesser extent because there's really no units outside the PT boats doing warfare, but you can do something to hinder the other player's progress as you do your own progression. So it does count as a bit of a conflict. Now, not long after this, another game would come out on PC called Cytron Master. In this game, a player takes control of a commander who will direct battles live, so that checks that off. Energy is produced by generators, that's the main resource in the game, and this in turn allows you to make new units, bunkers, landmines, or more generators. This fills criteria 2 and 3. Lastly, the units you make will attack and can be directed by you in real time to attack other players. That's it, folks. We have all 4 criteria. I think we had the first RTS in its most basic form. This isn't all there is to RTS systems. Not today, anyway, but it has all the core precepts needed to make the core of an RTS. This concept goes much deeper than all of this and might make another good episode of the evolution of series one day. But for now, what do you guys think of this one? Do you think this fits all the criteria? Or are there some things I missed? Do you know an earlier game? Let me know in the comments. For now though, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. If I could ask you for one more favor, please leave this video a like. And if you haven't, consider subscribing. That helps me out a ton. Until next time though, thank you once again, and happy gaming.